was doing an interview with Lillian Garcia on her Chasing Glory podcast.
And chasing glory holes.
Yeah, she asked her about everybody she met, and then she was talking about Paige, and she apparently said WWE is going to find something else for her to do. And she mentions how Paige is retired. Fucking me stuffed up. I'm so done with this.
Yeah, I got sick randomly last Wednesday. It fucking killed me.
I remember you had that ridiculously freaking high fever.
Fucking humble him cock.
107.
It's insane.
The only thing that's affecting is my memory loss, my headaches, and my memory loss. So I think I'll be all right.
Did I mention memory loss?
Yeah, did I mention memory loss?
Did I touch myself again?
You'll never hear the phrase, "Stop sucking my dick or I'll call the police."
Hummel Himmelcock.
Wait, we did another one of these?
We did this again?
Yeah. Meet Joe Cronin.
Tonight, my anus is your mouth.
I mean, I don't even think I have that good of a announcer's voice. I think you and Ken have a much better one than me. That's why I was like, why didn't you just touch Ken? You do it so much better.
No, I like your investigative journalist voice.
Well, TSS told me to ad-lib a couple parts if I wanted to. There were a couple of fun ones where I was just like having fun with it, like the whisper, the way. What?
What?
Are you freaking kidding me? What do you mean this isn't going to be another one?
Why did I touch myself?
He touched himself again.
Oh,
dear God.
And the best clue that you gave of all of it, he came back with a mug. A Leah mug.
But not just any mug. A Leah coffee mug.
Hey, we're
made that hand gesture that looked like he was masturbating.
Guys, tonight we're live on YouTube and on Twitch, but we're gonna have more. The show at the end is gonna exist on Twitch, so if you guys want to catch the full show, make sure you're over on Twitch. We're live right now on YouTube and on Twitch, but yeah, make sure you're on Twitch because that's where the big hard one's gonna go down. And now we're gonna start the show.
It's a conspiracy.
Ryback, I really think that Paige retired because she wants to suck my dick.
I'm sorry. No, but Ryback was commenting on Paige retiring. We'll talk about that later. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Right off the bat, we got a donation popping up. Man, the goon right away tonight. Look at this. The Tommy's So Fake song. Yo, Tommy, you listening? This is you, bitch.
Tommy's so fake. 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 So goddamn fake. Tommy's so fake. Tommy's so fake.
Hey, right off the bat, man. The Goon.
Tommy's so fake. Tommy's so fake. Tommy's so fake. So goddamn fake.
You gotta love when the Goon hits it up right away, man. The Goon knows how to slap the bum.
Do you want to see Ma Dick Tommy? I'm Sean's View. You're so fake with me. Brace yourself for Ma PP. Do you want my dick, Tommy? Do you want my dick, Tommy? This will have to do for now, ha. Much love. Can't make miracles. Payday next week.
Oh, thanks, Goon. That's alright, Goon, man. Goon's every other week on his paycheck, I guess. Thank you to the Goon for the big support this week.
The next ultimate mystery is, does Tommy love the cock?
Oh, that's not a mystery.
That's
I
a
don't
fact.
think that's a mystery.
That's a hashtag fact.
Yeah, that's a factual event, brother. This is not episode 86. I'll just cover that up. It's actually 88. So
88.
it's along the lines of it. But I'll just put
Yeah,
these
we're getting to 100 soon enough.
100 of out of nowhere, and it should be there. It should have already been there, but
We should be at 259 by now, but
so many months off. You know what I mean? And Catfucker wasn't feeling it on several times. All that stuff. And then I was just disturbed with the whole thing. I took weeks off, and then I took beer goons and I drowned it in water and jerked off on myself. But no, Jake, steer us in some kind of direction before I steer us somewhere terrible, because I'm on drugs right now. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if anybody else, but right now, if you can hear it, but I am on fucking drugs right now.
sounds fun.
What you got?
I've got a
What are you
little
not
bit.
on is the question.
I'm on everything, motherfucker. I'm on goddamn ecstasy.
Yeah. So after Trish's great performance, being number 30 in the Women's Rumble this past week at the Royal Rumble, she went ahead and headed over to Instagram. She took a picture with every participant in the female Rumble, and she made this nice, heartwarming post saying how we made history to bring together the past, present, and future.
That's fucking. You're turning me on. Oh, Sarah Small, thanks for the $2, Sarah. I'm pumped. Love for Nakamura and AJ. Yeah, look at that. We got everything we wanted, Sarah. Sarah
So
Small
far.
and me. Oh my God, we got everything. Sarah, let's get inside of a sandwich and just masturbate on each other. Sarah, thanks for the $2. I love you, Sarah. We got everything we wanted out of that Rumble.
Absolutely. So she said, it made me proud watching you all do your thing in the ring. What I loved most was seeing up close and personal the passion and love from each one of you. So, I mean, it goes on and on. It's very gushing, lovey, showing a lot of respect. She tags all the women that are on Instagram.
Ugh.
It's a nice thing. But the next day, on Monday, she went and she did a podcast with Lillian Garcia, her Chasing Glory podcast.
Yeah.
And the big thing of note that's going around right now is that they were talking about Paige, how, Trish met up with Paige there. There's a picture of them two together and her status with the company. And Trish mentioned that Paige is retired, despite what previous reports have indicated. And she told Garcia that WWE is going to find something else for her to do. So we've heard this for a while. We knew she wasn't wrestling. They said she was going to miss the Rumble, but now it certainly seems that way.
It's just funny how
it's
it
been
leaks.
confirmed everywhere but with, officials.
Why does it leak out in these weird ways, but they don't want to acknowledge it on the main roster at all? Seemingly they stayed away from it. It sounds like they just don't want to do it, or give her a send-off thing.
Yeah, I mean, they even say here, the situation is a bit weird for me. Trish Stratus was only around for a week between Raw 25 and the Rumble, and she already knows more about Paige's situation than WWE has publicly revealed. And that's the truth, It's a bit disconcerting, but unfortunately, it seems to be that her in-ring career is over as we know it.
I mean, the timing of when the original rumor was coming out was like horrible because it was like I think right before Raw 25 and then the Rumble. So I think we kind of brushed it off because like, okay, they might hold off on it because they don't want to take the focus away from the Rumble. They want to take away focus from this shit. But yeah, it makes me wonder if they're just going to quietly or attempt to quietly sweep this under the rug.
Why though? Like, why would they? Like,
yeah, I don't know. It makes no sense to me.
It just seems weird. Like, why wouldn't they just come out? This sort of like smells of like a whole like, oh my god, I'm retiring. Like, or like,
I mean, they just kind of I don't think want to admit that yes she was injured and this is what's happening, and I think they're trying to maybe see if she can improve at all, but I think they're pretty confident in knowing that she's not going to be able to wrestle.
Yeah,
Injury Paige.
I feel like they know it's not going to happen. I don't know what I don't know, whatever. It's so weird. What a weird fucking situation. I think it was all that hooker makeup she was wearing.
It might have something to do with it.
It slowed her down a bit, got in her eyes. That's why she couldn't see it coming.
Someone puts that gif of like when Homer shoots Marge in the face with the makeup shotgun, and like that's what Paige looked like when she.
Yeah, I put that up weeks back. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Jesus.
That someone shared a video of like Sasha like kicking someone in the Rumble or whatever, and like terribly.
Oh my god, I was
I
fucking
put a gif
cracking
of that
up at that.
On Twitter the other day. It said it looked like she was doing the can. She was just kicking air in the corner with Well,
someone did the can music to it, and I was fucking dying because it's there. Da, 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 da. I was fucking dying at that.
Well, what I don't get is how like Sasha is the weirdest person ever. Like sometimes she, and if you look at that Paige injury, where the injury Paige where she, the night before barely kicks her at all, like doesn't get her at all, and it looks horrible. And then the next night when she gets too much of her to gives her whiplash.
Fucking hell.
It's like, how can Sasha go from like 1 minute she can clobber somebody and then the next minute she like doesn't even try, it looks like.
It's all or nothing. And I mean, the thing is right now, Sasha, she said in an interview
I'm gay.
That she has nothing nice to say with Ronda Rousey. And at first she was being ostracized for being rude to fans again. I guess after the Rumble, she had denied autographs with some fans, and that kind of got like pushed aside. I mean, I know people don't want to be bothered after the fact, but you're a public figure, and it's different when you get that one scumbag that wants you to sign 50 papers or pictures so we can go and put it up on eBay. But I guess this was a small group of fans, and she really just brushed them all off. This is only according to Twitter, so I mean, her track record speaks for itself. She's been reported as saying she doesn't want anybody to approach her at the airport or anywhere for that matter. But I'm trying to find out where this interview was, but Sasha went ahead and she said that my feelings, and sorry to do it to you guys, but I have nothing nice to say. So I can't say anything at all. Oh, it was on Sirius XM's Busted Open via Cage Side Seats. They said this.
Wow.
She said, as far as Rousey goes, I have nothing nice to say. Nope, I've got nothing nice to say. I'm going to keep it at that. You're not going to get nothing out of me.
Fucking hell, it's like Bischoff heat.
Yeah, she said, as far as I can do, I'm going to go in every week and I do my job.
I mean, I get if they're frustrated. I can see their frustration based off of how she was brought in. With the whole like cutting off Asuka and kind of deflating that win a little bit. I totally get that, but like just to brush her off with like no.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. And
a lot of people were sending me these, especially people like just sort of in the business types, like calm down morons. Like look at and then they were showing the like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mike Tyson stuff from the Rumble. Where it was like, remember when this happened before already, and you don't see Stone Cold upset or whatever. But it's like, Mike Tyson was up in a booth watching the Rumble from the beginning, and they were showing him from the beginning of the show. He didn't come out there after Stone Cold won and get in the ring, and then like walk up and point to the WrestleMania sign, and then like everything was about Mike Tyson pointing to WrestleMania. That's not what they did.
Right.
And he worked with Austin, and like it seemed like he was supporting everything. This didn't seem like that. It just seemed like Ronda came out and pointed at the friggin'.
Yeah, but also Tyson wasn't going to become a full-time wrestler. That's what they're getting out of Rousey, apparently.
True.
So it is apples and oranges in that sense. But I think of the biggest problem that a lot of the women have, and it's something we've argued for them as well, is the fact that she's gonna get, reportedly right now, I've heard mixed things, but I've heard she's getting upwards of $8 million. I don't think it's that high.
What?
Because Brock Lesnar gets something like $6 million, if I'm correct, right? Somewhere in that ballpark.
I thought 12.
Oh my God! I'd believe like 2. I wouldn't believe anything like that's crazy.
No,
I can pull this up for you right now. I had it before.
They're retarded.
I mean, I get her being paid more because of what she's going to bring as far as eyeballs to the product, but at the same time, I think really most of it, if not all of the heat's probably stemming from the way she was brought in. They could have easily had Ronda come in halfway through the pay-per-view. It'd be funny if you cut off the men's rumble. That would have been fucking hilarious. Just Nakamura celebrating that she shows up and just points at the sign. But I think that's what the bigger issue is, that you have the women closing the pay-per-view. You have the women closing the first time ever one of the big four. It's not just like Hell in the Cell or like a B pay-per-view. It's a fucking major event. You're having a first time ever match, and you're putting a lot of chips on the women, and whether that's right or wrong or whether or not you liked it or not is a different argument. But like to take all that momentum and just like, oh yeah, by the way, Ronda's here. And it just almost completely sidelines everything they were building up to that point. Even if you weren't a fan of it being shoved down your throat, quote unquote, it took away from that. So I get the heat, but at the same time, it's like you could have introduced her a lot of other different ways. But
yeah,
I mean,
they could have done it the next night. They didn't need to do it that night. They were selfish for doing it that night.
It's a mixed
bag. They wanted the ratings. They wanted the buzz.
No, right. The ratings, they should have done it the next night.
Exactly. Well, they didn't want TV ratings. They wanted national ratings. Yeah.
It really should have been done on Raw. Like, I mean...
Exactly. Well, that's why a lot of the women were upset. You know, Nia Jax and the Bella Twins tweeted out, "Oh, well, how did Ronda Rousey feel about the Rumble? Well, what about the Rumble that just happened, the first women's Rumble? You know, all the mainstream media was saying, what did Rousey do? Well, how did she feel? What did she think of the outcome? Instead of saying, did you see the outcome? What did things like that." Yeah. Really quick, Brock's contract expires the end of April 2018, and he's currently making this year $12 million.
Yep, thought I saw 12.
Yeah. I thought it was 6, but I think that's an.
I knew it was double digits. But
I just don't see her bringing in that many people. I don't know why. Like,
The Undertaker gets $2 million. Shane McMahon is 2.2. Dean Ambrose is 2.7. Roman Reigns is 3.5 million.
What?
Yeah, AJ Styles gets 2.4 million.
Randy
Orton gets 1.9, and Cena gets 8.
Well, that makes sense. Reigns makes more money than The Undertaker.
Yeah, but Undertaker only works that one match, so
yeah, work all year.
And Brock works what, 4?
Yeah, essentially, and Brock gets 12.
I only worked one day this year for the same money, fuckhead.
Seriously, I think probably what happened with Brock is that he probably had a damn good negotiator, and he probably because he re-signed in 31, right?
Yeah, 2016. So
yeah, so that was right. No, that was 2016. That was 32.
I thought it was 15.
Yeah, 2015. 2015.
So they probably were very happy with the number growth that he got, and they used that momentum and like, hey, listen, because he had a lot of buzz generating at that time. Remember, there's a possibility he would jump back to UFC, so he probably used that as leverage when the negotiations, and then, Jesus.
So everything I hear from here is Ronda's going to get upwards of $8.1 million. Now, that's not confirmed anywhere, so I don't want anybody splitting hairs later if they say, oh, but that's just what I've read so far.
Cool.
But if you look at like Sasha and Bailey are reportedly making $200,000 to $400,000 a year.
Right.
So I can understand why they're certainly agitated.
Ronda Rousey.
We've noted this before. We've said it, Joe. A long time ago, the women should like a lot more than what they do now. That it's unfair that they're doing just as much travel and as many show dates, and not getting paid as much.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey gets paid $8 million to point at a sign. Meanwhile, me and Joe get fucking demonetized every fucking chance we get.
And besides, Ronda Rousey should have killed herself last year. So I mean, this doesn't even make any sense.
Someone actually, I remember now that you bring that up, Joe. Someone had like a picture of showing Ronda pointing at the sign. It says, "My road to Wrestlemania starts here," and then someone showed the picture of her getting kicked in the fucking face from her last fight, saying, "I think actually this is where it started."
Yeah, man, she's. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, How many people? How many people are going to turn on WWE to watch like every Monday Night Raw because Ronda Rousey showed up? How many people start watching the product? Like 300,000.
I don't know. That's a good question.
300,000. Like I mean, what?
Yeah.
I mean, like what, or less, or not even. Like what? Who's watching it? Like
there was a huge boost in ratings. They said for the Rumble and the night after until Rousey didn't show. So
of course there was, because they were gonna. That's literally the whole reason. I mean, it's not like they're signing an internet, or an indie star. They're signing a woman who has like the biggest buzz as far as the, a sport that's as close to wrestling as you can get.
Apparently, this doesn't include some of the merchandising and things like Total Divas and stuff like that. But the highest paid woman as of 2017-18 was Nikki Bella. Yep. She was making $310,000 salary. Natalia was second place with $300,000. Then Paige with $250,000. Charlotte Flair is $230,000. Then Rosa Mendez made $220,000. You ready for this? Eva Marie made $200,000.
Wait, what about Alicia Fox? Is she up there?
Alicia Fox was in ninth place. She made $180,000.
Oh,
Sasha Banks made $180,000.
Wait. So Sasha's making less than Alicia Fox?
And she's making as much as Alicia Fox.
Well,
but she's
Alicia
making
Fox
less
has been
than
there 8 years.
Snuka. Tamina makes $20,000 a year more. And Bailey's not even on this list. This is from.
She gets paid in hugs.
Yeah, this is last year from Forbes. I'm trying to find something more updated, but
Christ.
But at least they've been there. Those like Alicia Fox been there 8 years, so you'd think she would make that much.
Right. No,
but
that
granted,
makes sense.
I've heard
to
Nikki
me.
Bella makes upwards of $1 million a year because of Total Bellas and stuff like that. This is just like the one-off salary. Just their yearly pay from wrestling itself, but you figure, Ronda comes in and she's making essentially 20 to 30 times what you're making minimum for some of you, for your top star. That's harsh.
Jesus. That's so messed up. Let's hear what No Death has to say. There's a couple donations here. I'll play these things, and we'll see what they say. Oh, what's up, Zeo Ranger 13? Thank you for subbing me on Twitch. Thanks for dropping the sub. I really appreciate that. Let's see what everybody else has to say here. We'll let these things roll in. But Zeo Ranger, thank you, man.
That's my favorite Power Ranger series.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a Power Ranger series. I had no idea.
It was the one that came after the original, I think.
Fuck is Zeo Ranger? I don't care, though, because he's subscribing to me on Twitch. Go Power Rangers. Like, I was too old for Power Rangers when they were on, even the original ones, but whatever. Kalel Bama! What's up, Kalel Bama? I'm kind of worried about next year's Women's Rumble. Like, 10-plus women was nothing but nostalgia act. NXT this year alone, Jacqueline and Trish will just get older.
Yeah, I thought Jacqueline looked kind of iffy.
That was one of the things I was going to talk about on my channel. I was going to bring that up, and I was like, oh, you know what? We got that for out of nowhere. That's perfect, because what are they going to do next year? Pretty much all the divas that they had. If they don't start bringing up more and introducing, new women to the main roster or even more NXT call-ups, they're going to be in a hard spot.
I was reading something about them pushing the women's matches more than, let me see, I was reading it about this here.
Yeah, because there's only so many times they can't have Trish and Lita come up every year as number, 7 and 30. What
well,
are they
let's
do?
get this straight. Trish is Duke the Dumpster Drosy, so let's just
here's
that out right there. Here's No Death. Hang on a
my
second.
Ringside News is wait, hold up.
No Death.
My name is Kane and I'm donating.
Hey Joe, Jake and Uke Fabe.
Hey.
Much love to you guys.
Much love.
Rusev is so over. I can imagine. He could go to someone's funeral to speak and he says don't cry, it's Rusev Day. Anyway, Paige's new role in the back will be a ball fluffer, so nothing changes.
Yeah, you're right. She'll be a ball fluffer in the back. No Death, thanks for the 666. You do bring up a good point about Rusev. We'll talk about that in a minute after Connor says his deal here. But I think what I wanted to say was, thanks for the donation, by the way. If you guys want to fund the show, make the shows go longer, make the shows go harder, make the shows go faster, and make me jizz my pants, then donate to the show live The link is in the description box down below. You can also super chat by hitting the $ on the right. Either way, it'll get played. Bobby Roode Rusev. This is their chance to make Rusev heel. So we'll talk about that in a minute because they could easily now flip Bobby Roode heel. Rusev Day is face, and they're facing each other. But anyway, what were you gonna say, Connor?
So I just found this real quick. It said, according to Meltzer, discussed Ronda's arrival on Wrestling Observer Radio.
I just realized Ronda aroused me. Oh my God! It's just
that's a good one.
Oh my God!
That's a good one.
Rowdy
Wow.
Ronda aroused me.
Rowdy Ronda aroused me. I don't know. It just popped into my head. I don't know why. Like, oh my God! Rowdy Ronda aroused me.
You gotta try and get Tommy to say that. I monetize this Friday.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Brian
Say,
Hummelcock.
Asuka's name. He doesn't even know who she is.
Brian fucking
Asuka.
Hummel Himmelcock.
Yeah.
Oscar the Grouch.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! Ronda aroused me.
Yeah. You gotta write that one.
Ronda
You gotta write that one
aroused
down.
me.
Write that down.
Oh.
So Meltzer said that indicated that WWE plans to, quote, heavily push women now that Rousey is on board. The belief is the company can capitalize and bring more attention to the brand now with Rousey as the forefront because she's currently the company's biggest mainstream star. There's also feeling that Ronda's arrival could mean a better chance of the women main eventing WrestleMania in the future. It is highly unlikely that it will be taking place at this year's, but there is always a chance it could happen, depending on the momentum heading into WrestleMania 35, which now I've heard is a lock for New Jersey again.
Yeah, baby. We're going to WrestleMania 35.
We're doing it.
There's going to be a party in friggin' New Jersey, bro.
Joe, Bulldog Club let us know Ronda Aroused Me is already a real porno.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah.
Why? Fuck. It's fuck. Oh, here's the song right here. Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah. Ronda, arouse me, yeah.
I want some of that pussy, please. Ronda, please get on your motherfucking knees. Oh my God, Ronda, arouse me. Rowdy Ronda, arouse me. Rowdy Ronda aroused me. So I had to ride her like a cowboy. Howdy, what's up, motherfucker? How I need thee to impregnate your eggs. Ronda Rousey lay. Oh, Ronda, arouse me.
Someone just... I'm sorry. I had to do that. I had to do that. That sucks.
Worth it.
But yeah, so I'm going to be punching orange tan face motherfuckers on the Jersey Shore on WrestleMania 35. It's going to be great.
Fuck, how did it used to go? Laundry, what was the thing from the Jersey Shore?
I have no
Anybody remember
idea.
that?
Tanning.
I didn't
gym
watch-
tan.
I
Gym
didn't-
tanning laundry. GTO,
I didn't watch
whatever,
the
fucking-
show. I had sex with women. No, I'm just kidding. No,
never
I
watched it either,
No, we really did. I did watch it. I'm just kidding.
I never watched that show. Never got into it.
It was like
but
watching a goddamn train wreck.
It took me 2 years. I think one time there was like a marathon of it on, and I hadn't seen it, so I was like the third season, and I was like, all right. And I started watching it, and I got it like it was bingeable. Like, to believe it or not, it was bingeable. But I think my surprise was like, it's bingeable, but like, how does anybody actually like love these people? You know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah,
think
a lot of people
like,
said it's like looking for a story in the Jackass shows. Like there was just, it was just a mesh from one thing to another. Like,
It was like watching a. It was like watching a zoo and hoping the animals were provoked enough to do shit.
Yeah.
So I know the producers would actually go ahead and like when things would slow down or any of them be like, oh, we need a sober night. They would go out and they would leave alcohol like and shit like that. I know they would entice them to drink like Snooki and the other one, the girl that what was her name? JWoww.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would go ahead and they'd be like, "Oh, we need a chill night tonight. We need to relax." And then they'd come like out from the bedroom wherever they were filming and talking, and the producers had set up like a whole mini bar with like shooters and everything. Like they would entice them to get fucked up, and then they'd bring in limo service and stuff like that so they can go to the clubs and so they would set it up for them to be in these scenarios. So it wasn't all out fake.
you know what though? If
still.
you ever had those years where you went to the club every weekend and shit, like if you put that show on, it kind of reminds you of that. Like I think,
Yeah,
I was over that at that point when that show was on, but I don't know. You watch it, and you're like, I want to hang out with these people. You know, like that's what the show is supposed to do. You know, make you say like, oh yeah, dude, I want to hang out with these people, or like I want to see what they do next. I want a fight to happen. You know.
Yeah, I was never much of a bar guy, but I went through a phase of it. It was like, especially early college, in Providence, none of the bars ID'd. You know, you slip the bouncer $10 and you show them your school ID, you got in. And, you know, it was always, you know, one night after another, and you're always trying to, you know, come off of some wicked hangover. But I could see how it'd be fun. You know, you have those party nights and shit, but I never got into it. As I'm going through all the salary stuff here, you know what I find most interesting is that Brock really, besides all the money that he makes, he also has a 3.25% bonus for merchandise sales, which is second highest in the company. First highest is
wait,
tied
who has
between,
what? Wait, who?
For merchandise sales, he gets a bonus sales of 3.25% of all sales from merchandise.
Who does?
Brock Lesnar.
Because of all the Suplex City shirts, I bet.
Yeah, all those. And the only people that get that besides him is The Undertaker and John Cena. They get 7% of merchandise sales.
Wow.
So basically, Brock's in third place, but it's second overall. Brock also gets a pay-per-view revenue share.
What?
And he has free travel. He's one of the only stars that doesn't pay for any travel.
Man, talk about rich. The rich get richer. That's
I know, right? So he gets a $12 million deal, 3-year contract extension signed in 2016. It says right here, and it was for $3 million a year. So he got $12 million overall.
It's like 8 flights a year. So I mean, how bad can that be?
Yeah, because he's not coming out much. I mean, I guess that's why they agreed. But he gets a private jet. The Rock gets no salary right now, but he has a 3-year part-time contract, and he gets 7% bonus for merchandise sales only when he appears at select dates. So you know how they sell like those finally shirts or, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
But Cena gets a hefty pay-per-view revenue share that makes his earnings much more. But he doesn't even get free travel.
But what are they doing in pay-per-views? Like, how many buys and pay-per-views are they doing now?
I think it's really the bigger question, yeah.
200,000?
I think it also coincides with the network, too. But the only other person that gets anything like kind of lucrative with their deal I see here is The Undertaker. He gets travel and accommodation. Brock only gets travel. The Undertaker gets accommodations, too.
Yeah.
And he also gets revenue share if he's featured on the main event of a pay-per-view, like a Mania.
You want me there, Vince? You can pay for it.
The only other person that got special treatment was Big Show. They had to buy him the tour bus personally from WWE.
Right.
But that cut down on costs for them anyways because it was too much to fly him all over the place. And Sheamus does get travel and accommodations for most places, but not all.
Who's Brock's lawyer? Jesus.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio gets 4% bonus for merchandise sales on the masks and things like that.
Ooh, that's smart.
But New Day, they don't get anything extra bonuses. Xavier
They're like the
Woods,
most merch whore people out of all of them.
I know. Kofi Kingston only gets $354,000. I say only, but he's getting $354,000 a year. Xavier Woods has a starting package still.
Well, we know he has a package.
Yeah, you know, but it's just it's amazing to see. You figure, oh, you're going to be a wrestler, you're going to be a multimillionaire, and yeah, I mean, it can be lucrative, but you certainly have to, you know, build yourself up there. But I can see why the women would be upset with Ronda coming in. But in another right, you know, she was out there kicking ass. She earned it in her own field. I mean, it's unfortunate that she's able to just come in and transition, but at least she's going to the performance center and trying and working. Like, she didn't just step in like, I'm going to be the best with the attitude. I guess she's been very humble and working very hard. I respect her for that. You know, I am a big Rousey fan.
I think we thought she was going to do it and show up, and like maybe she would have like one match at WrestleMania. I think. I
really thought it was going to be more short term. I didn't think it was going to be such a long term deal with her.
Yeah, that's the part that shocked me the most.
That's the weird.
But I'm hearing the same thing as you, Jake. I'm hearing like at least 3 different roles for her for Mania.
Yeah, they have the 3 proposed ideas that I've seen tossed around was a mixed tag match. Her and a partner of their choosing.
I think it's going to be Roman Reigns.
Which I could see them doing Roman versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They'll finish that out. Or they can do the 4 horsewoman thing still, because they said that, you know, she might end up facing Asuka, might end up facing Charlotte now, so they might do something different. I don't know. That's confusing.
I don't think they would do that just because Shayna's in NXT.
Yeah, I don't see how that's going to work going forward. At one point in time, it made sense, but now not so much, especially with Charlotte still being champion. And then the other option, obviously, is to see her take on Asuka. So,
yeah, I heard.
I see that happening less and less since Asuka's going to be taking on Charlotte.
I think the mixed tag would be best, only because you don't know how good she is, singles wise.
Yeah. So she didn't really point to anybody in particular either. She didn't really, like, she went to shake Asuka's hand, but they kind of left that open-ended too because she was in the ring with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. Right. And if Asuka challenges Charlotte, then Alexa Bliss has no one to face, and Rousey might face her.
Well, I threw out the theory that they might actually try to salvage the goddamn friendship or lack thereof of Nia and do Nia versus Bliss.
Yeah, that I had mentioned previously. That I thought that Nia could have possibly won the Rumble had Rousey been in the Rumble and eliminated Asuka. And
that was a good thing they put her in the Rumble.
Yeah, you know, but it didn't work out that way. So a lot of speculation at this time. I'm curious to see. You know, she's not going to show up till they finish. She wraps up filming Mile 22. Triple H said.
I think it's going to be Strowman and Rousey against Triple H and Steph.
I think Strowman's getting Brock Lesnar.
I think Strowman is going to get Brock because
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here they're saying that for the first time in over 20 years, WWE returns with Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and more to the United Center in Chicago. And they have it listed here where it's WWE Universal Championship is on the line as Brock Lesnar takes on Kane in the United Center, and that's March 3rd. Kane also was supposed to be written off TV as of Monday. He's only going to be gone for a week or two, and I guess he's making his return.
Oh, come on. Well, then again, at the same time, I don't think Kane's legacy should be ended by him getting fucking flipped over on a table. He's had far worse things done to him.
It actually didn't even look like that devastating of a spot. It was certainly cool, but you figure he would have needed the stretcher more for the grappling hook spot than that.
You mean the fucking stage that didn't touch either one of them? Yeah,
exactly. But the way it looked, you know.
Well, it did. Like I rewatched when I was watching the Rumble. They did the hype package for it. I'm like looking back. I'm like, I knew obviously it was fucking staged, but like I'm like, Jesus, it really is pretty obvious when you look at the hype package. I'm like, yeesh.
Yeah, you can see that it was, you know, elevated to such an extent that it didn't touch either one of them. But I mean, still cool overall.
So they're coming back to Boston and they're doing the same thing. They're advertising Strowman, or excuse me, Lesnar and Kane for the title at a house show here. And that's March 30th.
So I wonder why they're having them face each other so much.
It's probably just to pad until Mania.
It has to be because, you know, figure usually they go ahead and they have the matches, you know, house shows to practice before Mania. But
I
certainly hope that that's not what they're going with. Could you imagine them having Brock Lesnar versus Kane at Mania?
Oh my God, Braun versus Kane at Mania.
It's just in Mercedes-Benz Arena on fire.
Oh God, they would. I can't believe that. That would not happen.
You're right.
Yeah, because they're having Brock face Kane.
No,
the winner gets his pyro back.
It really feels like they're building up Braun. It's either Braun versus Brock or Braun and Roman versus Brock, but it feels.
I mean, it says here most experts believe Kane was going to be written off the storyline being sent to the hospital, but then at the end of the night they said, you know, he went ahead and Kane escaped from the hospital crawling out. And
that was so funny, dude. I started laughing my ass off. I saw when they started describing it, like Kane was crawling from the. I started going like, what? Like that was my reaction at home for that.
Fucking, it's like when the fucking stage thing happened. Like you see every paramedic and everyone go after Lesnar, and no one gives a shit about Kane.
Yeah, like oh my God, 7 people to help Brock Lesnar. Meanwhile, Kane's crawling away himself. Like it was so funny.
It was, I know, ridiculous.
But then they gave a shit about him the other night when the table got thrown on him for some reason.
Yeah, that's when they actually cared. You know, that's because Brock wasn't under a table.
Oh my God!
Was like, this'll do.
One guy did try to help him. He did shove one guy away, like at one point, but it was just, oh my God, was that funny?
I don't know, seeing the 3 announcers at the ringside area huddled around one screen right after that was fun. Like, you couldn't flip the fucking thing back down.
It's like, I saw so many memes of being like, when there's one TV in the dorm room and shit like that.
My theory was they were moving
growing up without cable.
They're moving the announce table back, and like that was just their like goodbye to the table.
Did you see how tight it was over there? I didn't realize until I think it was like actually during Roman's match where like he walked by and like he just like squeezed by the fucking announcer's table.
Yeah, they had it built. They had extra seats there, because of that.
They moved the whole like area up more since the announce table's not there.
It was still there though. They just left it there the whole fucking night, and they didn't.
Yeah, they just left it to show the destruction.
You couldn't fucking flip it back down.
And Kane, in the meantime, I guess he's doing things in Knox County. He has a few different engagements. So Mr. Glenn Jacobs is also going to be with, his kayfabe brother, The Undertaker. They're going to be reuniting and making a public appearance. That's going to be March 1st at a catering center in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's $150, I think, for a VIP reception ticket.
Is it hosted by Titus Worldwide?
We're serving hot dogs.
Private post-event reception.
Vote for Glenn
$50
Jacobs.
Gets you an autograph from one of them.
Well,
so that's
would you like beans with your grits?
If you get a $60 combo ticket, you get entry to the live Talk is Jericho podcast session on February 16th, featuring Kane and Chris Jericho.
I will sign your Undertaker photo if you promise to vote for Glenn. Jacob.
He takes the hat down. There's just a giant vote for Glenn sticker on the very top.
Man, why? Like, how close are they? Well, they must be buds.
I guess they are good friends outside of the company. So Undertaker's really supporting his run for mayor, Glenn Jacobs' run. And he wants to back his campaign, Republican. So they're going to do this meet and greet. And this is the first time they've ever done anything together outside of the company in this type of way. So it's a big deal.
Move in, now move out. Sorry.
Speaking of Braun Strowman, you mentioned, he could possibly tag with Ronda Rousey or Arouse Me. I don't know if you guys saw any of the mixed match challenge, the pre-vignettes that aired.
Yeah.
But they had they had Alexa. And Braun, he was like, he was going to teach her how to flip a car, and they were like flirty with each other. It was actually really funny. I thought it was cute.
Imagine Braun Strowman fucking Alexa Bliss. He could pick her up with two. He would look like, if you saw that from like even a small distance, you'd be like, oh my god, arrest him.
Hold on. I'm gonna try and find this. Keep going, Jake.
Find it. Yeah,
there's a meme. Yes.
You would think that he's molesting a kid, like, because he's just. I mean, he's gigantic.
If Mr. Okayfabe can find it for you, if not,
Alexa's like one of those Japanese sex dolls, like to him.
Yeah, she's so tiny.
Man,
it's a meme picture of him and her next to each other, and he's like smiling, and then it's like it shows a train being being forced into a tunnel that's way too small.
Because she made the joke. He's like, I think she's pretty cute, and she's like, I think you're pretty cute too. And we're going to go all the way. And you see Braun just like he has this rapist glint in his eye, like, oh, yeah? And she's like, we're going to go all the way to a win at the end of the mixed match challenge. And he puts his arm up, blue balls and all. So it was a funny moment. But problem is, the show on Facebook saw a 32% drop in viewership. So Wrestling Inc. reported that they're down 32% in viewership this week alone. And that declined from last week, being the second week. So this is the third week, and viewership has declined both weeks past.
People are over it.
Yeah, it doesn't. But they, I guess, had asked people on the way out of SmackDown, and people that attended live said the mixed match challenge was the favorite thing they saw throughout the night.
I mean, so far I've watched all of them. I review them, and it's not bad. It's not bad at all. The matches are pretty good, especially that one was pretty funny because they really Sammy really played up the heel, so it was really funny how it was very weird. Becky Lynch getting most of the most of the offense, and then like Sammy's doing everything to avoid getting into the ring with Strowman. In fact, there's like a chase sequence where you can hear Sammy clear as fucking day yelling like no, and it was just really, I thought it was entertaining, but
yeah, it was really over the top at times. But you figure they both had history here. You know, Alexa has a good history with Becky. She, they had that whole back and forth for the SmackDown Women's title, and Sami Zayn fought Braun, a multitude of times to try and like prove himself. So it was cool to see Team Ginger Snap, try and overcome the monster. But I liked the match. It was fun. It was enjoyable. Problem is, it only garnered 62,000 live viewers. Yeah, the inaugural episode had 135,000 people watching.
Yeah.
So next week we have Jimmy Uso and Naomi, real life husband and wife couple, and they're going to take on Goldust and Mandy Rose. So if you think viewership was bad this week, wait till Mandy Rose and Goldust, take on the Uso family.
Look at TNA on Twitch. I mean, I was watching the other day. It was like 200 people in there. We have more people watching this show by far than would watch TNA on Twitch.
And if you're on Twitch right now, you look to the left, you see recommended channels. Impact Wrestling is one of, the top recommended channels for me to follow because I don't follow them. And I think it's that way for everybody. So
yeah, they're pushing the hell out of it over there. But it makes sense. Yeah. I remember, my numbers are down on YouTube as well. But if you count Corrupted and Joe Cronin Show, right now I'm doing about 700,000 views a month. But I was doing 1 million before. I was doing over 1 million. And that was, if you add all 4 weeks of TNA up, that was about what TNA was doing. They were doing like 900,000 views every month. So
we should buy Impact now.
I was doing the same amount of views on YouTube that Impact Wrestling was doing on television.
See, I think that the problem with the Mixed Match Challenge is because they're doing it on Facebook Watch and not just the Facebook Live program, it makes it only available in the United States. We even tried having people use a VPN or my login. It didn't work for them. It does something triggering with the GPS program where it's like a smart connect. It will not, even if you log into a United States user outside of the country or you use a VPN. The VPN still didn't work, which surprised me. So, yeah, they can't connect.
Who's in TNA right now? Anyway, I stopped watching and they're all gone.
Yeah, you figure Bobby Lashley's gone, EC3's gone, Rockstar Spud is gone.
Who's there?
Borash just got signed, which is great.
Who's there? Do you like?
I'm happy that Rockstar Spud got signed as the 205 Live GM. He put on some great matches in TNA. He was the X Division champion, twice?
I think he can pull off the role well.
He's a good speaker. Really impressed with him.
And he can get in the ring if need be. I don't think he's going to. I think they're going to try to avoid that, but he can take a bump, and I think they made a smart choice. The only problem is that, people knew in Philly who the hell he was, obviously, but
I don't know why they didn't keep the Rockstar Spud name.
Beats me. But, I don't know. What was it? Drake Maverick is his name now?
First of all, that's a TNA thing. And second of all, it's kind of a dumb name. I always thought Rockstar Spud.
It is the dumbest name.
But people, it's an association with him.
It's
Rockstar's Nakamura.
Maybe it was his decision.
They want to call Nakamura the Rockstars, too, so...
What did you guys think of that? I didn't watch SmackDown last night live.
I'm a rock star.
I watched your review today, John, as I was watching SmackDown side by side.
Sorry, that just fucking caught me off.
And I saw what you were saying.
You're not wrong. I'm a rock star.
I just picture the fucking guy from South Park doing a shitty walk.
You want your shitty chicken?
Right, I'm rock star.
Demogorgons.
Oh my lord!
Screaming at
Always
people.
breaking my walls.
Goddamn AJ Styles! He take my championship.
You die.
You revive my champion.
Oh my god!
Oh,
you die.
You die.
You take a Rita to face.
Re to face. Re to face. Read my rips. Re to face.
I win the Royal Rumble.
But see, luckily Shinsuke, like, this is the sort of type of like thing I said last night. Like, Japanese wrestler could go either way, like extremely goofy or very serious. And luckily Shinsuke portrays a very serious like tone. Like Funaki would come off like that if he was trying stuff. But like Shinsuke comes off as like seriously like, you die, and it's like, wow, that's so cool, like mystical almost, like to us, you know, North Americans, like, wow, he knows something, he knows some kind of fighting style that we don't know, or something that he knows, like that's the sort of vibe off Shinsuke. So he doesn't come across that way. But I don't know, you keep it up with this fucking rock star shit and you might get there.
But the graphic that came over, it looked like it was going to cut his head off. It was like somebody got to play with the After Effects, and you know, it was ridiculous.
No, somebody was like, Jeremy Borash, go ahead, this is graphics, and then he was like, oh shit, this is the wrong button.
I mean, it was just ridiculous. Like, it flew by on the screen just as he did the pose down. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that was.
It's almost as bad as when Fandango used to have like the, like, you know, the little sparkler Fandango shape above him in the ring. And then the pyro would only work like 1 out of every 5 times.
Fandango. I want to see Fandango versus Nakamura.
Oh, his sides are still hurting.
I am going to face Nakamura for all the milk in Tokyo.
Ray to the face.
Imagine that.
Yeah, there's nobody left in TNA really, though. I mean, who else do they have?
Why are they? It feels like any minute they're gonna announce that they're done. Like, I mean, like, why else? Why are they there?
Everything failed with Global Force.
Downgrade.
Yeah,
everything went belly up there that way. They had, you know, no successes with that when they teamed up.
It's really a high quality indie now.
Yeah,
it's
not
really
even
all it is.
High quality.
Production.
Yeah.
Even that.
I know. I'm being
I know.
I'm generous. I know.
Fair,
yeah, no one else has a
like,
TV studio or a sound studio stage. So, I mean, that's the thing that they have.
Yeah.
Broken Cody and a few others. Big Slow tagged me that I guess Grimm's Toy Show is fighting with Nia Jax on Twitter.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, she said, I'm guessing he, being Grimm, wants attention for his horrible behavior, making fun of my weight, which is completely unoriginal. But what gets me is that he's shouting degrading things towards women in front of a young girl. Good job, buddy.
But also, I mean, Grimm's a big fat shithead anyway. Like, so what are they?
I know. So I don't know what's going on, but apparently he's in full Cena garb at an arena yelling shit. So
he was at the Rumble, I think.
Yeah, I didn't listen to. I think this is from the Royal Rumble, but somebody said Grimm's toy shit can choke.
His
body shaming is not cool at all. So he must have said something on his vlog, because I see the Grimmettes and his, you know, heel wife there.
Yeah, but he removed it. He took down the video.
Oh, he took it. He did take it down. What a pussy! Why'd Grimm pussy out?
Oh, he said Nia Fat. Here comes Nia Fat. Here comes Battleground. I'm not a monster. And he goes, here she comes. And he's just singing along. But I don't think she realizes, or anybody realizes that, you know, he does all this shit like Gay Wyatt, and
yeah.
It's the character he plays with Ebenezer Middlesdorf, and But Grimm did tweet the apology. He said, I messed up this time, guys, and I'm sorry. I'll work very hard to be better. I sent an apology video to Nia Jax and removed the video.
Oh, here's a picture. And then someone posted a picture of Grimm's daughter, and let me see what Grimm's daughter's doing.
Here's Nia
Hey, guys.
Fat.
Here's Nia Fat.
Cow.
Fat cow.
Yes.
Oh God! Somebody posted. Unfortunately, Grimm's daughter has learned from Dad.
Really?
Oh my God! Charlie Caruso said, "Loser."
Wow. Yeah, because Grimm said, I'm so sorry, Nia Jax. I feel like a total piece of crap now. I hope you'll accept my apology, and I'll remove that video. I'm a huge fan of all involved in the women's and men's rumble. Sometimes they get carried away and trying to be shocking.
Here's Nia Fat.
Nia Fat.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm just reading the thread now. I didn't see this thread underneath it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm calling child services, somebody wrote.
Yeah, jeez.
Why? Oh, for what? Because his kid said someone was fat?
Just the reaction.
No, I know. It's just funny that someone said that. The fact that you can't take a joke is sad, somebody wrote. I'm pretty sure Grimm might have more people back him up. Like, I mean, except for, like, with all the Charlie Caruso. Can I comment on Charlie Caruso's post and write, shut your robot face?
Yeah.
Hey, how about you shut your robot face?
but you know, it's just, it's a bit ridiculous. I know what Grimm's doing. Like he's a big ass himself. I'm a fat fuck. Like, you know, I know he's not deliberately trying to body shame or anything. It's part of the character that he plays. You know, he's got all the shit that he does. Like I said, Gay Wyatt. You know, and he's not a homophobe or anything like that. It's just part of like all the action figure series that he does.
Yeah, he's just joking. It's like a joke. I mean, fucking dildo.
Yeah, but it's caught mainstream now, or I should say mainstream, but it's caught the bigger audience that Nia has, and it's
wow.
I'm just saying, right or wrong.
Yeah.
See, at least he did it, because like if I'm getting fat, but like you know, at least he can be like, well, I'm a fat piece of shit, and I make fun of myself in every video. So I think it's okay to make fun of fat people because I'm fat. So if you don't like that, I mean, I don't know, maybe you're a different kind of fat than I am. I don't know, but like
I'm all fat.
But me, if I did it, like if I did it, I could be portrayed worse. Like at least he's. You know, can say, like, because people be like, oh, well, you're not so fucking skinny yourself, Grim, or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, I know that, because that's the joke. I make fun of fat people and myself. Like, look at my body shame. I body shame myself in videos, you know? So, because I body shame myself, I guess I don't really think that other people could be hurt. You know, that he's got an easy out apology. Because I constantly, if you watch my videos, make fun of my weight and being fat and have all the people involved in my show calling me fat ass all the time, I basically become numb to my weight and to it being, you know, an insult. And so I wasn't thinking that somebody else would find it more offensive than me, you know, something like that. So you can kind of have this weird out apology. But wow. And Nia is salty though. She'll you know, one night she's
very upset about her weight, and she used to be so confident too. She was a plus size model. And it's part of the Total Divas thing. I think it got to her being with the Bellas because somebody, I think it was Diva Bible, actually sent me a clip of her trying on dresses, and she was with both the Bellas, and she starts crying because she doesn't like the way she looks, and she feels so, like, out of her body, and you know, like this isn't who she wants to be, and she's so down on herself, and she's worried what other people think, and she's struggling to find you know, somebody to go on a date with, and it was this whole big storyline, but you can see that there was a lot of truth in it. And I don't know. I felt for her in that sense, but it feels like she's lost any and all confidence she had. As where she used to come out and be like, this is me. This is who I am. I'm not like most girls.
Well,
now it's,
you know what happens? You know what happens when you don't get a belt and you think you're going to get like a title or something? It's victim time. You know, for this member, she's part of the new generation, so it's victim time. It's time to start blaming this on other people that said whatever the hell they said. I liked Nia originally in NXT. The thing I liked about Nia was when she sort of cut a promo in NXT and she talked, I sort of believed her. She was believable, and that's what I remember saying about her. I was like, damn, she's believable when she speaks. I think she's a little too scripted in the main roster. But in NXT, I saw this believability with her that I enjoyed. Her wrestling still needed work, but it was her believability that was like, ooh.
Yeah, the only thing you commented on was some of the faces she made. Remember, she used to, like, during the first match with Bayley that she had, she made some awkward faces, like trying to be real menacing, but it just didn't come across great.
Yeah, they tried to.
Overall, she looked good.
When she was just talking, it was like, oh, I believe her. I believe this girl. This is crazy. But yeah, when the purposely posing her faces at, like, during entrances and stuff, like, that was dumb. But everything else I thought was great. So none of it was her fault. It was all the direction of other people.
Yeah, and like Joey said, right or wrong, it isn't worth the drama, and I agree. You know, Grim apologized, and you know, because you never want to hurt anybody's feelings. You say something that wasn't his intention, I'm sure. You're there live, you're having fun, but he also doesn't. You know, people are right in the sense that you don't want your kid to you know, learn these stereotypes and bring it forward with them so that they bully somebody else or, you know, scrutinize themselves. It's a hard, you know, line to toe back and forth, but I don't think he was necessarily in the wrong.
I'm writing something right now. I said, Grim is a good guy. He makes fun of everything. This is him, a comedy act, kind of like myself, but when painted in this light without context of who he really is, this comes off making him look like disgusting. But
that's a great way to put it, because that's the truth, because there isn't context there. It's just him calling her fat.
Yeah, without context of who he really is, and what he does, LC has done. This makes him look like a monster that he is not. I get that these comments were offensive, though. I just don't. I mean, I just. It's not this bad guy that he's being like crapped on for. You know what I mean? Like, a good response to Grim would be like, "Well, how about you're a fucking retard and I'm in the WWE or something?" You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
she doesn't understand the context of who he is and what, what he does.
Mm.
And, people say he's fake in his own right, or, he can be an asshole. I can see all that too, but there's a lot of, I've only spoken with him once. There's a lot to Grim that, people don't understand. A lot of it is just a sideshow act, and it's hard to differentiate too because he vlogs so much of his life, and, it really, he blurs that line between
Hey guys,
family content and his own. It's hard.
So I wrote to Charlie Caruso since Charlie Caruso felt to step in for Naya and act like an idiot. She said something like loser or something like that. So I said, hey, look, a robot announcer's talking. Well, this guy Jeremy wrote, don't be slandering Charlie. I don't think this fucking retard knows what slandering is. Slandering is if I said something about Charlie that wasn't true to like fucking, he's a fucking idiot. Slandering? Look up the slandering in the dictionary, you fucking retard.
There was nothing slanderous about that because she is a robot.
Yeah.
Pure and simple. She's a robot. We know this. Where was it before? Like Hector said online, it's sad that Brock's getting 12 million, Ronda's getting upwards of possibly 8, and we still don't have Pyro. Maybe if they could just take a little bit off there.
Well, I figured how much money they saved with Enzo.
Hey, there we go. He was getting paid quite a bit too.
Jeez.
Which surprises me,
Yeah, I got to see him wrestle for one of the last times for the company. Fucking A.
Yeah, I apologize for activating people's Amazon dots, by the way. God damn, we need to change that name. Why didn't they come up with a weird name, too? Why did they be like, let's name our dot that activates when you say the name, like a fairly common woman's name. Usually a hooker woman's name, but a fairly common woman's name. Why didn't they call her, like Beatrice or, I don't know,
Why didn't they just do it?
Schmeghole.
Amazon. Hey, Amazon.
Yeah, or like, how about Amy? Like Amy. Hey, Amy. Nobody has the name Amy.
I got one for Christmas last year, and you know how much of a pain in the ass it was to do a SmackDown review at the time and talk about the women's division when that thing was fucking going off every time.
I couldn't take it anymore.
Alexa Bliss.
I know you can
fucking
rename it,
shut up.
but nobody renames it. Nobody takes the time to go rename it. So, and even then, it still has a problem. I think it should just come default as computer, because that's one of the 3 options, computer.
Yeah.
So, and besides, I always wanted to be in Star Trek, so now I'm in Star Trek.
Sparkle bitch.
You know what they should do for like $300? Get Majel Barrett's like voice to be the thing.
Dun, dun.
I know, but you could piece together enough stuff.
Probably.
Oh, look at this Dipsy Doo. But anyway, let me play some of these donations, I guess. Let's get caught up in some of these. Let's see what we got. I thought, it's broken. The Women's Rumble next yeet will be a train wreck, just like the Chamber will be this year.
I don't know about next eat.
I thought the Women's Rumble was all right this year. It was surprising.
I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I
still think the men's was a little bit better, but
well, I think the end of the men's was better, but the men's first half sucked, I thought.
Yeah, I think I overall like the women's better. I like the end of the men's better, like the final 6.
Yeah,
but...
see, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The women's I thought the women's was a more solid, complete match with like.
Yes.
So if you made the women's like a 6 out of 10 for being overall solid, and the men's was like half of it was bad, I thought, and then the ending was
the last
great.
half caught up of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you give it a 7-10. So the more complete one. So it ended up being fine because that made both of them different, and I liked that they were different, but I liked them both. I thought it was going to be a piece of shit, and it wasn't. I was really mad about the placement. I was ranting about that. Kalel Bama. I got to fix these donations still, some of these. I keep saying that, and I don't do it. because it's such a grind to do it. But I should do it like a bitch. Kalabama, it was brought to up on Wrestling Inc. that there are no female writers in the WWE creative besides Stephanie McMahon, who's head of creative. Do you guys think there were more women writing for the women's division? They'd get better storylines? No, I don't
Possibly.
know. I don't even think so, Kalabama. I think the men can write for the women just fine. We're not writing, sexual housewives tales in a storybook.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Joe. It could be a good PR thing, obviously, but I mean, it's not to get myself in trouble here, but unless they can bring something completely different from the table aside from a woman's perspective on it.
Shit,
Exactly. That's kind of my.
Yeah, I mean,
The
that's
title
really
of this
perspective. They
video
might
should
have
not be
something
called
that,
Road to
but
WrestleMania.
That's just a writer in general, so.
It should be
At that point in
called
time, it
Road
doesn't
to
matter if
Another
they're male or
Year
female.
of
If they have
Failure
new
at
ideas, then it's just
WrestleMania.
beneficial. So you're making a good point.
Until Vince dies, this product will not be good. Hashtag JidScatfucker. Hashtag fuck you Shansview. Hashtag Dietomity.
The title of this video should not be called Road to WrestleMania. It should be called Road to Another Year of Failure at WrestleMania. Until Vince dies, product won't be good. Same old thing. Thanks, Mirov. What's up, Mirov? Thanks for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. I agree.
Still
sort
hope.
of. Yeah, I mean the WrestleManias wasn't last year the good. I thought last year's was pretty good.
33 was much better than fucking 32.
Yeah.
Hands
32
down. And I was at 32.
32 was a shit show. in
Get
my
ready
book.
for this year's to suck. I think this year's might suck. I thought last year's was good. I think I gave WrestleMania last year a 7 out of 10. I think I said that WrestleMania, maybe I didn't, I don't know. But I think I said last year, leading up to WrestleMania, like months before, I was like, oh, this is going to be like WrestleMania 8. There's going to be like a bunch of different matches you can watch. And it kind of was like that. But this year, I don't know, man. I'm scared about this year. Except for, I don't know, maybe not. Nakamura and AJ Styles, I mean, I'm ready to go with that.
It really depends on the rest of the card. And if they just let AJ and Nakamura just go, which I doubt they will, but if they let them just kind of go a little crazier than normal, that's going to be a fucking show stealer, no without a doubt. And the fact that they're putting the title on there, that's a huge.
They got to know that that's the whole thing. Like do an NXT like match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean they got to go balls out on that one. There's no way, because NXT New Orleans is going to fucking obliterate, because especially from what I've heard from the rumors of what they're going to have for the main event, it's going to fucking blow. It's going to be hard for them to top WrestleMania, but I mean, you got Styles Nakamura. It just really depends on what the undercard is, like what the other matches are. Presuming we're getting Roman and Brock, which, and then just everything else.
Well, there you have it. Any other news, Jake? It's pretty quiet tonight. Oh, hold on one second. Let's see what this guy says. AC Tran or Aki Tran. I might have fucked that up. Did you notice how many times the girls got out under the top rope to go rest outside the ring during the Rumble? I didn't even know who was left in the match. Yeah, sometimes that did become a problem. Sometimes they were out there way too much, and it was like, I kept saying, is Sasha in the match?
That was a huge problem with Sasha. She was the Iron Woman, but same thing with Finn. Finn did it a lot too. He was the Iron Man. And both of them were on the outside a lot.
But I like the spot with Finn though, because Corbin just fucked everyone up. At least that made sense.
Yeah, that was cool. But so I'll give Finn that much. But Sasha, she was outside a ton, and it was confusing. And there was a lot of times where, like you said, you didn't know who was active, who was eliminated, and they shouldn't be able to get out of the ring at all. They should just change that. I've said that for a long time.
Sparingly. It's fine to do it. Just do it the right way.
Or just have them lay in the corner by the turnbuckle. Don't be outside of the ring.
Who was it? Austin that had one where he got taken out and.
Yeah, it was him and McMahon.
Yeah,
one of
those
the year
ones.
McMahon won, right?
Yeah, the year McMahon won. McMahon was missing half the
it was
Rumble.
Like 99.
Right, that makes sense. I mean, that you do that. I mean, obviously it's a bigger star, but I mean, you get the point. It's
that one drove me nuts. That pissed me.
Yeah, see that ticked me off then.
Even then, and I was angry.
And I didn't even know all the bits of the business.
Hell, they did to Roman
angry.
when the title was on the line. Remember, fucking what was it? Holy shit, League of Nations. Is that what the fucking they called them?
Oh, they took Roman out. You're right.
Yeah, they took out Roman at the
That was
Rumble, and they
enraging,
took him out.
too.
They power bombed him, and boom.
Yeah, and then he came back to win. Right? That
Yeah.
one.
No, he lost.
Oh no, that was the one Triple H won. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, because we thought we were like, oh no, fuck this. Like he gets taken out, and then he's gonna come back and win in the end. That's what we said. And then he did come back at the end, but then he didn't win. Yeah, that was a big swerve. Look at that in stereo.
Yeah.
As far as little stories, nothing big deal here. Mark Henry says his current status with the WWE, he's basically done at this point in time. There's a strong rumor that he might be entered into the Hall of Fame this year. He said that if some young punk feels like he has too many words that they can't back up, I might step back into the ring. But besides that, he likes being a scout for NXT. He said Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, I helped cultivate their talents. And, these guys can do something. I brought them in. So, he's doing a good job off screen. He's 46. I don't think he needs to be an in-ring competitor. He's got a good history behind him, so that's a good place for him. Roderick Strong is to make his WWE main roster debut next week. So this was announced after 205 Live went off the air, but we're getting Lince Dorado versus Kalisto and Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong in the first 2 rounds of the new Cruiserweight Championship tournament, which will culminate at WrestleMania. Yeah, it's another Cruiserweight Classic, so I'm all about that.
I was saying that before that this is what exactly they should have done, because it kills 2 birds with 1 stone in terms of getting the build from now until the WrestleMania, puts the new belt and gives the belt another prestigious moment in terms of the tournament building up, and on top of that, it gives you a fucking reason to turn into 205 Live.
Yeah. Plus, Roderick Strong also has a title shot if he wins his number 1 contendership against Tyler Bate. For the UK
that was
title
tonight
on NXT. So I didn't see it yet.
Oh my God.
Was it good? I heard it was.
I'll just say this: it should have been on TakeOver.
Yeah,
I said this in my NXT review that it should have been on the TakeOver. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if it's the 6th match. It should have been on fucking TakeOver. It was that good. It wasn't as good as nothing's gonna touch Black and Cole and Almas and Gargano. Those 2 are well up above. But man, this was
still really good.
I'm jealous of the Philadelphia crowd because they got 3 kick-ass matches that night.
Absolutely.
But Strong being in the Cruiserweight division is really interesting. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm legit excited for the 205 Live and seeing where it's gonna go, especially if Bate's gonna be there full time, if Strong's gonna be there full time. I want to see what they do, because if they keep the momentum going and the matches this week were fucking epic, they could really make some good shit out of this.
They also want to eventually move Pete Dunne into that as well, so. That'd be cool to see him more in the 205 Live, kind of.
They need more heels. They need more fucking heels.
Rey Mysterio didn't sign a contract going forward. It was just like a Legends thing that he has. So he's not making a full-blown return. It was just for the Rumble.
Right.
Which I did like seeing him, but
as we said,
yeah, he was a lot better than what I expected him to be. As we mentioned earlier and on the Raw review the other night, Triple H commented that, Ronda Rousey will be finishing up at the Performance Center. She'll continue to train and work with them daily. And once she finishes the movie Mile 22 that she's filming in Colombia, then she'll be ready to debut full-time in the WWE. So it won't be long for that to happen. And Jinder Mahal was talking about Ronda Rousey, and he said that, she was a big wrestler fan growing up. Her name comes from Rowdy Piper. She got permission from him directly to use that. She's a wrestling fan. She has a huge passion for the business. He originally thought it was just a one-time deal for WrestleMania, and then he found out, she signed a full-time contract. And he feels that she's going to dominate just like she did in the UFC. So you got him speaking highly of her. I'm curious to see what happens with her going forward.
Well, let's get out of here.
That's pretty much all the news.
That's all I want to end.
Yeah.
Everybody see, I was typing to everybody on Twitter, just going through all the Twitter stuff, and I left the thing up so you guys could see some of the comments. It was just kind of crazy.
Oh, I believe
Grim's
it.
getting pretty slammed right now.
Man, Grim must be eating his own shit right now.
I feel bad.
Wrestling Inc. said probably a good thing that the young girl was there, or he might have gotten a well-deserved punch in the face. I don't know why people feel like they need to comment on all this.
I'm gonna take. Who wants to see me feed Nia Jax Twinkies? Anybody want to see me? I'm gonna feed her Twinkies, and then she'll shut up.
Absolutely.
Nia, I'll come down there. I'll feed you Twinkies. It'll be great. I'm not like. See, this is getting sick. I told you we get sick. Good night, everybody. Oh. This is supposed to play the thing. There it goes. Make sure you guys check out Connor from OKFabe on YouTube, youtube.com/OKFaber on YouTube, and check out Jake's YouTube channel, youtube.com/countdownended, youtube.com/countdownended, and youtube.com/OKFaber. Connor from OKFabe, and Jake's at countdownended on Twitter as well. Make sure you check them out, give them a sub, leave them a like, and give them a condom present, because I said so. Good night. Yo, shout out to Ray Rock, man. I don't know if he's watching. I don't think he is, based on the situation I saw he was in. But shout out to Ray Rock, man. We'll talk about that later, probably Friday. I don't really know what's going on. Apparently I'm the last one to know about this shit. I've known him for 3 years, but I'm the last one to know. Later. Mirov says, Joe, do you play Yahoo Hockey Fantasy? I haven't. I actually gave up on my football fantasy in Yahoo, so I used to do it, but I probably won't now. I'm just so busy. I end up forgetting about it, and then I lose. I lose. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight and for the subs and all that stuff. It was pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet with everybody tonight, I feel like. So I don't think we're gonna rage and stay up and play PUBG and stuff like that. I'm gonna do some other work on Patreon and stuff like that. You guys have a good night. We'll talk to you guys later. I see the comments in the chat. But I'll see you guys tomorrow at some point for some live streaming maybe. And some videos going up and some Patreon stuff going up. And Friday night is Monetize This, so that'll be a big night of craziness. But yeah, it's pretty quiet, man. It's pretty quiet tonight. I don't hear from a lot of people. The phone lines weren't even ringing that much tonight, and we didn't have a lot of donations, so I think a lot of people sleeping or something. So we're just going to call it a night. Thank you guys for being here, and we will see you later tomorrow. Unless I wake up at like 3 in the morning and start streaming something, but I don't think that's happening. Good night. It's wet.